Hey everyone, DK here from Adventures in Dirt, coming to you on the Relics Radio Show. Excellent. Make sure we're all connected here. Tony, how you doing, man? We don't have intro music tonight, so I was hoping you would sing the intro.
I'll play the spoons, but that's as much artistic I get.
Yeah, sweet. Well, hey man, what's going on? Like, we got a chance to dig recently.
I know. What about that?
It seems like it's been forever since we did that.
That's a rarity for us, huh?
Yeah.
Digging. Was it last Sunday? No, 2 Sundays ago. Two Saturdays.
I don't know.
No, last Saturday. I don't know. We went digging.
Thanksgiving really messed things up. We did.
Yeah.
We did. We had a special invitation for a very special permission. I mean, man, that took Michael forever to get that permission.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing to get that. So one of these city properties, one of the oldest properties in the city from one of the city's founders, that kind of thing. And, it's on the National Register. So you're not getting permission at those places.
Right. And we Michael got to dig. We actually got to dig holes.
Yeah, I was so shocked by that.
I loved it. It was it was a good time. We found some good stuff. Put out some videos on it and everything. So lots of social media about us being up there and had a good time. Got to meet Michael. That was a good time. Got to meet Jeffrey. Two guys we'd never detected with, and meet some new contacts, dig some good holes, and find some old stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had archaeologists on site with us. We had people from the Historical Society, people from the Preservation Foundation, and doing it right for that type of property. But everyone was real interested in what it was definitely hunted before, though.
Oh yeah.
It was very obvious it had been hunted before.
No silver coins.
Nope.
So that was kind of a letdown.
You did pull some silver, though. That's pretty cool.
I did.
I don't want to say too much.
I had a 3-ring day.
Yeah, you did.
That's not bad. So I'll take it for sure.
And I had a 40-penny day.
Yeah. We pulled a lot of clad out of there. There's a lot of recent weddings in the past couple of years. So
right.
You're dealing with that kind of thing at that site. But
yeah,
it was a good time.
I couldn't lay off the penny signals, man. I was looking for those high tones, and I was just like coming across those penny signals, and I'm like, well, man, it's right on the edge where some big rings will sit, sometimes gold. So I'm like, well, we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what's up.
Dig it all. You never know.
Penny every time.
Especially on an old site. You just never know.
Yep. Weedy Indian head penny, so some good stuff came out of there, for that type of site. But nothing real old, nothing like, oh my gosh, it belonged to Mr. Avery or something.
Right. From the 1870s, right?
Yeah, right.
That'd have been awesome. A mailbox sign that says, Mr. Avery, established 1878.
Yeah, it's called the Avery House. So you're right. That would have been beautiful. A bracelet that said Avery on it.
Right.
Gold bracelet. That would have been great. Hey, if you're just joining us, welcome Relics Radio. Every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, Tony and I bring you guests from around the metal detecting world, treasure hunting community. Man, we're going to have divers on this year. We have a lot of plans. We just started season 7 of Relics Radio. Man, 7 years Relics Radio has been on the air. You can go back and listen to years and years and years of interviews and podcasts from when Digging with 7 and Tennessee Jeff started the show 7 years ago, all the way up to, just last week when we were telling everyone happy Thanksgiving. So if you didn't get the message, happy Thanksgiving to you. I hope you guys had a great time over that holiday season. Now we can gear up towards Christmas. How was your Thanksgiving, bud?
It was good. Got to see all the family, all the kids, grandkids, in-laws. It was a busy day, going all day. And then everybody left and I just crashed. It was nice.
Yeah, that's always fun to do.
And you had Thanksgiving with your mom.
Yeah, we moved my elderly mom in with us from California here about a week before Thanksgiving. So she was so excited to be able to see all her grandkids and all, me and my wife. And she's been enjoying it ever since she moved in with us. We've been having, a lot of adjustment happening there. But man, she was able to dig really being surrounded by family. Because last year she was alone, kind of in a place she didn't like. And so this was night and day for her. So it was kind of a special time for us. But yeah, cooked some good food, same thing. Everyone came over early. We got dinner done early, and then everyone left. And I was like, I could just relax. Yeah, it's the way to go. Who do we see in the chat? We got a bunch of people rolling in. Want to welcome everyone.
Yeah, right away, Buckle Boy comes in. We haven't seen Buckle Boy in a while. And actually, Ken and I were just saying, haven't seen him in a while. It says, let's go. And of course, it's the New Orleans, Louisiana French go. That's awesome. Ohio Relic Hunter checking in. Mr. David Rose, Full Metal Diggers, in the chat with us tonight.
All right. Bill Hayes, how you doing, Bill? Good to see you rolling in. Welcome everyone. Hey, you got some of our guests rolling in the chat in there, saying hello to everybody.
They're gonna multitask. This is gonna be fun.
They are. They're gonna get sidetracked. We're gonna ask them a question. They're like, hold on, I'm typing an answer to somebody in the chat. Speaking of that, we got a lot to talk about tonight. We should probably just bring our guests right on and get to it.
Yep. And kicking off season 7, episode 3, we've got 2 fantastic guys that we've spoken with before. And just love just chatting about metal detecting, treasure hunting, that kind of stuff. We are very, very blessed tonight to have Merrill from Metal Detecting NYC, as well as Lou. You guys know him as Indiana Tones on YouTube. So welcome to Relics Radio, guys. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Merrill, Lou, welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
How are things in New York?
Good. It's starting to get a bit cold. But
cold.
You know, it's
come on.
We haven't had snow in 2 years. I know I'm jinxing us.
We had snow last week.
Yeah,
it was like you guys had snow last week. We had flurries, and everybody was just like, "Oh my God, I remember that stuff." But that first big snowstorm, it really, you know, it's not like upstate New York. It really slows down the city. So after one storm, you know, everybody's happy for that one storm, and then the happiness goes away really, really fast.
We get that, don't we, Tony? We understand it completely.
Yeah.
My mom was like, hey, you know, I'm so excited to see snow. You know, like she grew up in Northern California. She's like, you know how long it's been since I've seen snow? And I'm like, yeah, we're kind of over it. You're going to see a lot of it here in a minute. Yeah, we got hit pretty good. Do you have a lot down there, Tony? Because Tony's further south than me.
Not really too much. This was more just a light dusting, but the cold temps are coming. I mean, at night it's getting down into the 20s and stuff right now. Even in
we got about 7 inches.
Did you really?
Yeah, I had my snowblower out and everything. Wow. Usually you get hammered down there before we do. It must have been
we're in a good spot that we get it pretty good down here.
Yeah. Excellent. So Merrill, real quick, do I, you know, Mr. Ambassador, like, do I need to salute you, bow, or what do we do? Like, what's the proper etiquette?
Oh, geez.
Have you thought about that yet? Like, do we have to?
I'm a very informal ambassador, and high five. Yeah, that'll work. High five.
Here we go. Good.
Yeah, tell us what Mr. Ambassador means now.
It means I'm representing XP, and I'm going to be going to various festivals. I'm still going to be uploading videos to Metal Detecting NYC, which I guess is, you know, it's become my life work now. You know, metal detecting, I've pretty much decided I need that in my life. I know that for sure. And that kind of tells the story of that. But yeah, I'm going to be making instructional videos on the XP channel. And, you know, Gary, thank goodness, is continuing to be there. And, you know, they have what I really respect about XP is they have a commitment to teach. If you look at the features that are on the detectors that they make, you know, it's mind blowing, and it's, you know, it's stuff that you know, you really have to grow into, but it's advanced, and I started my learning curve, and I've got people that I could call, and you know, next is to be able to teach about that, and I'm very excited to do that.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that was a big announcement. I know you said you had a big announcement coming. We didn't know what it would be, but I thought, hey, let's have Merrill on sort of sometime later, and maybe depending what the announcement is, he can come on and talk about it on Relics Radio. So I appreciate you coming on here and doing it for sure, and congratulations. Sounds like a great opportunity for sure. And rare. You're like the only second ambassador they've sort of named, right? I mean, it was Gary and you, right? Yeah,
that's right.
Amazing, excellent.
Yeah,
hey, and Lou's with us tonight. Lou, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, good evening. Thanks for having me on. It's exciting news for my friend Merrill over here.
Yeah,
and love Relics Radio. I always watched you guys since I started this hobby a long time ago.
Yeah, good. Well, thanks, man.
Yeah,
we love having you. We like having you on. Go ahead, Tony.
We're over here on the Zoom. We've got the all four of us together. Lou's got this wall of detectors behind him, which is absolutely impressive.
It is. It's like artwork.
It's amazing. It looks sweet.
Look at that coil. Look at that coil. Yeah. Look at that coil. Look at that coil.
Yeah,
it's sweet, man.
Yeah, like Christmas in November.
There you go.
Yeah, and then there's a bike. Come on, dude, get rid of the bike. And then there's a bike.
Bikes anywhere.
I'm consolidating here. It just keeps going. The wall keeps going.
Yeah, excellent.
That's awesome.
Perfect. So, are you in proper New York, Lou, or are you able to say kind of what part of New York are you in?
I'm in Staten Island, the 5th borough, the forgotten borough. It's mostly the suburbs of New York City.
I gotcha.
Lots of history.
Right. That's great.
There's a lot of old parks there, isn't there?
We are the borough of parks, and fortunate. Besides parks, we have what's very unique and is really good about rating and reviewing these metal detectors. We're on an island. We're surrounded by beaches and abandoned places, parks. We have wooded areas. Like we have the highest peak on the eastern seaboard to Maine. So there's just lakes also. There's just various places where we could do different testing. It's really awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not, I always hear that. I see that, whether it's Dig and Duo or you guys, all the different people that sort of, produce YouTube videos out of New York area, or Jersey, any of those areas. I'm always surprised. Like, for somebody that's never been to that part of New York, I've been to upstate New York, but that part of New York, I've never been there. And in my mind, for somebody that's never been there, like I just think concrete jungle, it's to me, that's just New York. New York's concrete. Is like, what do you mean there's a park there? There's a park. It's probably got, concrete everywhere. It's probably, and then you guys are talking about all these old parks you got. And like you said, a beach and then parks and abandoned places, like all these interesting, ideal places to go metal detecting. I'm like, man, I believe you, but I'm like, in my mind, I can't picture that. But
how about forests? I mean, they had to bury the bodies somewhere.
True.
Right. I'm sure you got forests too, wink, wink. But yeah.
I think it's, geez, Lou, do you know offhand how many miles of forest we have?
A lot.
Google that.
And, that's one fear I have is finding something in some kind of contraband or something. We don't want that to happen.
All right. Well, let me ask you both. I don't care who answers it first, but how often do you get? All right. Rate them in order of you go to them: beaches, parks, forests, woods, farm fields.
You want to go first, Merrill?
Oh yeah, right. I was writing in the chat about my multitasking. Listen, I didn't quite hear that question because of the multitasking, but I got the answer. We have 6,800 acres of forests. Ooh. Now, what was the question? Sorry.
The question was, I'll name some places you rate them kind of, you go to them most or you go to them less. Beach, parks, farm fields, woods, forests. Something like that.
Yeah. You want me to go first? I would say beach, number one for me. I've really turning into a beach detectorist. The parks, a few years ago, it was parks. I'm really starting to like the woods quite a bit. Forest, woods.
Yeah.
That's really my number two right now because you could really get surprised. I've been on a very steady diet of mercury dimes, and it's kind of like, no, I don't want to say it's like getting a memorial penny. It's not, but it's a mercury dime. It's like the entry level silver, and you could really stumble on some seriously old stuff. It's a lot less frequent, but the woods of New York are full of surprises. The parks are still producing, but when they produce, it's mercury dimes.
I've seen some old stuff come out of parks. It always shocks me.
Yeah.
Right? When an old coin comes out of a New York area park. I'm like, man, what's up with
it's
that?
There. It's amongst the gazillion signals from so many people out here.
My oldest coin I ever got, it 1720, that came from New York City Park, so it's there.
Wow.
It's funny over in the live chat right here. Buckle Boy says my Spanish silver diet is just like Wheaties.
Oh, jeez.
I'll say, have you been seeing what he's been pulling? My gosh,
and that's true.
Way to go there, Buckle Boy. My gosh.
My favorite is the woods, 100%.
Woods.
And yes, this is peak season. It's only for a couple months because it's in between the peak tick season. Well, it's always tick season. They're just more about in the hot months. And then when the ground freezes. So in these couple of months, I like to get in the woods as much as possible.
Awesome.
That's my number one.
Do you find that the woods kind of freeze a little bit later also?
It's very, the weather's been really weird here. My whole childhood, we would get feet of snow, and now we're getting a flurry or a dusting here and there. But even when it's frozen, I'll still go out there under the leaves. I think the leaves insulate the ground somewhat. You'll still get that frost. You'll have to bang on the soil to break it up. But I would say,
freeze,
yeah. A few years ago, around Thanksgiving, I couldn't really dig that much, but it's soft right now. Still, luckily.
That's good.
And in the summer, it's really the bramble. Like there's areas that a lot of detectors won't go to because they don't want to get hit with the thorns. It's really thick. So these are the months you want to get in there when everything dies.
About like chiggers and ticks. You experience that there?
Oh, yeah. I do. And I recommend everyone wear light clothes because the other day I had 2 crawling on my leg, and luckily I looked down and saw them.
Right. Yeah. So we're talking about Buckle Boy. I was just, my wife just flew to New Orleans and spent a couple days there. And I was so close to be like, hey, I'm just going to tag along with you and I'll just hang out and call it Buckle Boy, man. See if he has any time to go out for a day while she's doing her work. She went there for work, and I couldn't do it with my mom moving in with me here. Kind of had to hang out with her, and still getting used to her being around, and she's getting used to, our house and how everything works. But I was thinking about him. I was like, man, I got this guy there, a friend of mine. I could probably call up and go hang out and do some detecting. But someday, she might have to take further trips. So we'll see how that goes. But did we lose Merrill, or did you just shut off his camera on us over here?
Oh, I'm here.
You're there. Okay, perfect.
He's multitasking.
Yep. I'm multitasking, exactly.
He's in the back.
I'm a multi-slacker.
Multi-slacker.
He turned off his camera. He's on the can.
Yep. Well, back to Merrill to talk about this announcement you did. You said you had this announcement coming, and then the next thing I know, I think you posted something where you were in France.
Yeah. So it's been kind of a big adjustment in many ways, and I wanted to do it right. And I followed the advice that XP gave me. It's like all good things grow slowly. Yeah, and if you think about it, it's true. I mean, in produce, we have, I guess, farming methods that kind of like speed stuff up, hydroponic stuff like that. It's meant, well, it still has to grow, but there's the forced growth and there's the organic growth, which is the way that things have always been. And anytime you make a big step, you go slowly, and that's what they're trying to do with me. I'm coming from swinging many metal detectors and being able to have a really global perspective, but it's a real shift for me because you could say jack of all trades, master of none. Mm-hmm. And I think that was true. And at some point, you want to be able to master something. And in all sincerity, this has been the Deus 2, has always like resonated with me. And I always say, if you think I'm BSing, like go on Wayback Machine and, look at Iratemetaldetectors.
You had it rated very high. You had it rated very high. Yeah.
For the longest time, in capability ratings, that was what was at the top for that. The opportunity was there, and I could now speak to the people who literally created the detector and knows every capability of it. And I just kept thinking about that. And my first reaction was actually like no, but then they sat me down and I spoke, and it was the right thing to do.
Are you able to talk about how this all came about? Like, I know, as news is spreading out there that, you're the U.S. ambassador for XP Metal Detectors in the U.S. A lot of people are interested about it. Like, how much can you tell us about how it came to be?
Sure. It probably started on my trip to Turks and Caicos. And, I had the wire, when it's what a lot of people use for scuba. Days 2 has a lot of different uses, but my wire snapped on that trip. It was in a video. I didn't take that video down, and it's still there. They've since improved the wire. I had to crazy glue it, but I got through the trip on that. I got through the trip on that metal detector. I had to crazy glue it to do that, but it got me talking to XP. I wrote an email. I'm like, guys, I don't know if you know this, but you got the best beach metal detector. I was going to say, like, let's make some changes about the wire. They're receptive, and they want to be the best. They want to be the best, and I saw a commitment to excellence, especially in the week that I spent in France. But how it came about was actually a bad thing that was turned into a good thing. I think any company or any person, really has to be constructive. And, it's not always going to be, this is great, everything is great. But, whatever goes wrong, you fix it. And, I definitely saw that. And, just the conversation continued, and I slowed down with the videos that I was putting out and really thought about this and decided, let's do this. This might be a once in a lifetime thing. But it was a total shift for me. So I went slowly into this decision.
Yeah. I bet it was a big decision. I mean, your channel kind of, you've really, hats off to you. You've grown your YouTube channel. We're all YouTubers, all four of us right here on the call. All four of us are YouTubers. We're crazy people, right? Gluttons for punishment. We put out these, videos where we're critical on ourselves and, watching the stats and watching the numbers. Your numbers have climbed so much, Merrill, over the past few years. And I see why. Like I study YouTube, I study data and all that stuff. And I totally know why you have succeeded and you continue to succeed there. So for you to make this step with XP, take this step with XP, I bet it was a big jump for you, a big, like, I got to really think about this, right?
It's a huge shift for the content that I was making. I was rating metal detectors. I was buying them. That was almost like a business model. Like, what can I do to make my channel different and like really stand out? And it was that global perspective on all metal detectors, and using them, and people knowing that I bought every single one of them. And I'd say it was like about $15,000 of investing to do that. None of them came for free. I got one. I got one from like a Chinese company that was free. But other than that, everything was bought, and it's a total shift. But honestly, I've been thinking to myself, I'm like, have you mastered any of them? And that's the struggle with that. Yeah. And there's nobody that can, because you need to practice them. You need to actively practice them to keep them in your mind. And with all of the updates that are going on nowadays, it's a highly competitive field, and we all benefit from that. But it was an opportunity that I could not say no to. And I think the ultimate selling factor was, like, I get to work with the people that made this detector and know it better than anybody else.
Yeah, that's great support, right? The actual people, right, that you can actually chat with and say, okay,
yes.
what do I do in this situation with this detector? And they'd be able to say, oh yeah, that's a perfect example. Here's what you can do. But you're not leaving kind of all your ratings and stuff behind and all that stuff. One of the reasons why Lou's on with us tonight is Lou is sort of taking the helm of Irate Metal Detectors, and he is going to continue on with that sort of where you left off as far as continuing to rate metal detectors, put out videos on various detectors. You know, Tony just mentioned earlier, we're on a Zoom call right now, so we're all on video with each other. And Lou is completely surrounded by the biggest gaggle of metal detectors you've ever seen hanging on his wall. So, how's that going, Lou? Like, you up for it? You up for the challenge here, or what's going on?
Oh, full throttle. I took a little bit of break off of YouTube for a while. I still metal detected. I just wanted to focus on that because I had a lot of family, kid activities to do, extracurriculars. But now, how I have everything planned out, I'm dedicating a certain amount of time to. My biggest goal is to dial into every metal detector I touch, and to go over it with other people. It's all about communication. I'm really into this hobby. It's probably I've been into a lot of things, but the only thing I can compare this to is cars. When I was younger, so excited, always looking at magazines and getting feedback from others, and it really brings me joy to metal detect. And anything I want to be like the cheerleader for metal detect, and that's why I do volunteer. I'm a vice president of the Staten Island History Hunters Metal Detecting Club, the only New York City metal detecting club. And with that club was really took a hit, not to go off the track after the COVID problem, but I wanted to revive it with my Mike Detrani, the president. And this is something else that I could incorporate in helping and being a voice for a cheerleader to the hobby and really help people out. That's what it's all about, communication and helping people and spreading, it's all about positive feedback and help for everybody.
Yep.
End of the day.
Yeah, it's important service to offer to the community for sure, to put out that information, good, bad, indifferent, whatever information so that people can make, educated buying decisions. I know that when I got my first metal detector, if it wasn't for YouTube, I probably would have struggled with it for a week or two. And, I opened the box on Christmas. My wife bought me my first metal detector, bounty hunter, right? So I opened the box. I'm like, oh, it's a metal detector. Huh, I wonder what this is like.
What now?
I don't know what this is. I don't know about this brand. I don't know about anything. YouTube.
Right.
Look, there's two brand, Hunter GT had two excellent tutorials on exactly how to use every feature, why you would use every feature, how to improve on it, how to swing, how to do all this stuff. And within a half an hour, I was in my backyard finding stuff, like feeling like I had mastered it because I just watched a video on it. But of course, that wasn't so. But so they're really important, man. Like you don't even realize that. Like sometimes, you have a focus on why you're doing something like that, but you never know how that's affecting other people that can see your videos from far away that you just have no idea about. And so they can be a great service. Great service.
Definitely, especially people that are isolated away from other people that metal detect or don't have that access to a club. They really rely on feedback, but we always say, every area is different and you got to just take the tools and the information we're given and you can make an educated purchase. There are a lot of, you could see like just these review companies that have nothing to do with metal detectors putting out these lists, and a lot of them are just generic, no name brands, and people will see that. We want to be the voice for, people that actually do the hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's growing so much. I mean, just like Ken said, all the newbies, the first thing you're probably going to do is jump to YouTube, do a search on Google, find something to just get you started. Where do I start? And, I think I did put the link to Irate Metal Detectors in the chat a couple times here. If you guys haven't checked that out, just the information and knowledge on that website is incredible. And everybody
I love the name.
I
know
because it's perfect.
When you go to the site, you're faced with exactly what you think it is until you realize it's not. Yeah, that's good.
They're mad. They don't want to be rated. They just want to
find stuff. Yeah, quit rating me. Quit judging me.
They're irate.
Right. That should be on you should put that on your website. Quit judging me, or get sweatshirts that say Irate Metal Detectors, quit judging me. That's good.
Yeah.
There we went.
The ultimate goal is to have those target IDs scream out like certain words. That'd be awesome.
Right. Penny, ignore it. Penny,
Silver,
lay off the pennies.
Silver, dig me.
Yeah. If you can customize them, that would be great. I always thought about that about like GPS before they had like, in your car direction, your, phone talking to you and stuff. Like if you could custom make those voices, to say what you really want them to say. I said left. I said left.
What if I told you that Garrett once had a talking metal detector? I was going to do a video on it.
Really?
Really?
Yes. Garrett had a talking metal detector.
What would it say?
I had video on it.
Oh my gosh, man.
Here we go.
I almost said it, man. I don't know. Should I say it? Oh my gosh.
Say it.
Should I say it?
Yeah, do it.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to get in so much trouble for this. Did it say buy an XP?
Oh my goodness.
Ouch.
Send your emails to
predated XP.
dk@adventuresindirt.com.
Oh, dang.
Oh my goodness.
It said it was like the early 90s. So it was it said Milli Vanilli. That's what it said.
Yeah. I've got that's funny. Milli Vanilli. I've got an old distant like a laser pointer that measures the distance. What do they call that? You know what I mean? Like you can point it at a wall and like you look down and it says 35.3 feet or something like that, right?
I know what you mean.
Distance calculator thing.
Yeah.
I had an old one that would talk to you. You'd push the button and go 36.4 feet. And then you go the other way and go 23.
The Garrett one was like that. I sense people got sick of whatever it was saying. I'm trying to find. I'm
David
multitasking mode right now. I'm trying to find the name of that metal detector. Somebody in the audience might know.
Ohio Road Hunter was talking about it. Yeah,
I want to buy it now.
Bill, what did it say? Come on, Bill. Tell us what it says. So the Garrett talking machine was irritating, especially going through the menu.
Oh,
so you go through the menu and it'd be like sensitivity 1, sensitivity 2, sensitivity 3, discrimination. Yeah, good luck.
David Rose in the chat says I had one of those. It would say dig here, dumbass.
We gotta love our chat. Oh man, they're always great.
That's funny.
Oh boy. Yeah, we're reading through the chat. All kinds of stuff comes
I know
up.
they're going at it now. This is funny.
Well, Lou, good luck, man. Good luck with that. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah.
With
Thank
that.
you. It's
like
gonna be
It's a
fun.
great service. Yeah, you are gonna have a lot of fun. Like, have you swung all those detectors behind you yet? Or are you looking to get into that?
No, just scratch the surface on some newer ones, but we're gonna get to all of them. And as we do them, the reviews will be under my lens. How I look at it. They may change. They will change because every area, people have different perspectives.
Yeah.
Up until now, what's your area of focus? What's the machine that you use, the one that you love right now that you have maybe the most time on?
I would say I've been using the Manicore a lot, but I am testing the Xterra a lot because there is a huge, there's a lot of questions, especially from new people, is what detector do I get for the $300 range?
Mm-hmm.
Is it they usually throw 3 detectors, the Simplex, the Xterra, or one of the Vanquishes. So I really want to, since we have all these different areas where I could hit, I really want to get that answer. I already pretty much know, but I want to be 100% sure before we actually start talking.
Yeah,
what's my opinion about it?
That seems to be a pretty big focus right now. That exact range right there, and so many different options.
That's right.
And with the growth, new people coming in, or even seasoned veterans. I mean, all 3 of those, that area has improved so much. That sweet spot. There's a lot of competition and probably very, very little changes or nuances to each machine that puts ahead of the other one, but they're all fantastic. So yeah, it's a good spot to focus in on.
We'll move on to the Manicore, the Days 2 for other detectives. For more seasoned people that do higher iron areas that want to find those little silver coins that maybe older detectives cannot get. I mean, that's a big thing that people want to do, because a lot of these places are hit and they just want to go over them, hopefully find a few more sweet silvers out there.
Gotta be more. It's gotta be more. So hey, Merrill, we're going to talk to you about you're going to talk to you about your trip to France.
Yep.
But before we do, we had a comment in the chat from Buckle Boy. It says, how does taking the step with XP change your website and content, Merrill?
It totally removes me from the website, and I hope that people know me to be honest and trustworthy. I've heard that before. I'm not. All of what happens moving forwards is going to be up to Lou. Lou wouldn't want to take this if it was like me. How could that be? I don't think anybody could picture me being like, dictatorial, like, you got to write something one way. No, it's up to Lou. I'm still involved in the website. I'm going to be, writing blog posts. I'm still going to be making content, that's like outside of the scope of, the XP. I think a lot of people are worried like my channel is just going to turn into XP propaganda. No, there's more to me than that. I do believe in the company. I do believe in it's a great bunch of people. But for instance, we've gone mudlarking. My channel is full of wild stuff. We took, remember Barry, remember Metal Detecting rap.
Right.
Yeah. We just, whatever the idea is, we go with it. And I think that's how you keep a channel fresh. You do what you're inspired to do. And right now, mastery, that's the word that I have in my head, mastery. And I guess it would start with the dais, and there's more that I'm going to have to learn, but my excitement is really with the dais, and it'll grow from there. Yeah.
I'm a clone guy. Duh. That's that rap always just sinks into me, man.
Yeah, Buckle Boy says Barry's my favorite guy. You got some fans out there.
You do, yeah. The crazy stuff you've done has really lent itself to your growth, I think, a lot, because you came on the scene and you were like, something very different that no one has seen. And people either like you or they didn't like you, you know what I mean? And those that like you, I think you're seeing that most people are liking what you do. But yeah, it's I'd never heard of Billie Eilish before, to be honest with you. I'm an old guy, you know what I mean? So I never heard of Billie Eilish, and then you came out with that rap, and I was like, So I actually called my kid up, and I was like, "Ever heard Billie Eilish?" She's like, "Oh, Dad, come on, what rock are you under?" You know what I mean? She's only the largest artist these days. I was like, "Really? Billie Eilish? I'd never heard of her before." And then I had to go watch her original video, and it was really cool. And then, but that's it, Merrill. You did all that. You did all that. Turned me onto it, and I was like, "Oh man, that was a great mimic of the song, and a great." I love doing that. I've always taken a popular song and written alternate lyrics to it. There was a local radio station here that had a jingle contest, right?
Oh, gosh.
And I took Mambo number 5 and I completely turned it around to introduce this crazy radio duo here in Denver.
Isn't that fun to do?
Yeah, it is a lot of fun, man. I had a good time with it.
You have Weird Al as your inspiration, or what?
almost
kind of a master of that, right?
Yeah, it's fun because you write stuff, you try to make it fit in with what the original was and all that stuff, and I've enjoyed that for sure. One of the guys really liked my jingle, and the other guy, since he got a chance to, some people would write the jingle, send it in, the other guy would actually record it and play his guitar and record it for the person, and of course he liked that one better, so that's the one I want. I should have won.
There's this Picasso quote that I started my career as an art teacher, and I'm going to butcher the quote. Every child is an artist. And the the rest of the quote is along the lines of like, we stop becoming an artist as we get older because we become aware of people judging us around us. That always resonated, stuck in my head. Just if you're interested in it, just do it as long as it's, net positive. Not if it hurts somebody, but just go with it. And if it doesn't work, you stop. If it does work, you keep going with it. For me to like answer your question a few minutes ago, I just wasn't really as excited. I think I got the information that I needed in terms of rating metal detectors, and I learned a lot from the process. But if you keep doing the same thing, it's going to get boring, and you just got to go with what your inspiration is and go with where the opportunities are.
Mm-hmm. Lou, do you rap? Are you going to be rapping soon, Lou?
I only wrap Christmas gifts.
Good one. You know who else does this, Merrill? You know who else does that? Actually, Buckle Boy. Buckle Boy came out to dig with me. I don't know how long it's been, but year or two maybe. And yeah, we got to talking about that same exact thing. And he does the same thing. He loves penning down alternate lyrics to pop songs, and he shared a couple of them with me. So he's right in there as well. I don't know if he's ever produced any videos. I can't remember. So Buckle Boy, you have to let me know if there's videos out there we can go find somewhere, or maybe just some private collection.
People who metal detect it really gives you time to think. Like when I'm at my best, I swear to God, I'm not thinking. Like I'll look at a beach, and you want to look for the low spots on the beach, and you want to do your thing. You want to V shapes, high tide line, low tide line, and get like a little graph going, whether the targets are low or high. But after I'm like on autopilot, I'm just walking and swinging, and it's a beautiful thing. And your thoughts just, that's the beauty of metal detecting. You never know what you're going to get. You could get a surprise, the beeps. You're like a Pavlov dog. You hear a beep, you start salivating. Sometimes it ends up being a bottle cap or a pull tab or piece of junk, and the other times it's a gold ring. It's a beautiful thing. But you get some nice quiet time and you feel good. And that's how I know I'm going to be doing this the rest of my life. Yeah, I need this.
I always think I need to become more disciplined as a detectorist. Like I had the same thing. I hear a beep, and even if I know it's a crap signal, I'm like, but what if? And I'm like, I'm gonna dig that. I'm gonna dig that target. And it's like, even if I know, like, okay, scratching the beginning in the entry and the exit, and it's not. Yeah, it's look at these, things jumping on my screen. Like, it's gonna be junk. But what if?
There's one thing that has that really resonated with me when I went to France. And you were asking about the trip to France.
I'd really like to talk about that. Yeah,
I take us off on tangents. That's what me. You have to be like, Merrill, hello, focus. Here. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, me too, man. I'll be right there with you for sure.
You know what they kept doing? They kept taking the remote off of my, off of the shaft, and they kept saying like it's made for speed, more fines, and it's wildly different than other detectors in that regard. And it is lighter. You feel it being lighter, and the lighter that it is, the faster that you want to go. But as long as you can control that, because there is such a thing as too fast. And I was asking Gary about that. Can a swing of an XP? We all know this. Any detector, it could be too fast. But you want to be able to cover the ground well. You want the mechanics of your swing to be good. But other than that, you could move around. Reactivity. You have to adjust, of course. But and that's the same as recovery speed, or similar to recovery speed. For other detectors, you could move around a lot more, and you could really, ideally, get more targets. Like maybe it's those 50-50 signals. Some of them are going to be trash, but if you think about it in terms of volume, you'll be you'll be getting more calories burned. You'll be finding more, and there'll be more junk and there'll be more treasure. But, that's the idea behind taking all of the weight off of the detectors. They're so light you could move, and you'll get tired a lot slower than if you have a heavier detector.
And there's an optimum swing speed for that dais, right? I think there's a specific swing speed that's like that sweet spot. Yeah, you can go faster, but sometimes slower doesn't work so well, especially with the brains being in the coil, right?
Yeah, brains in the coil. In my last video, there was a deep target. No, not my last video. The video before this, there was a deep target, and it was not hitting when I was, swinging a little bit more slowly. And of course, that has to do partially with the commands, but the controls and how I had it set up. But for the most part, and I verified this, it's a faster sweep speed, with the XP. You could get away with the faster sweep speed. But yes, it's the way you set it up.
Yeah. I want to get over to your trip to France. And you just recently got back from France, right?
Yep.
Was that your first trip out of the country, or out of
my last trip out of to Europe was when I was in college, and it was like 1999. I was like a kid, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go back every summer. It's gonna be great. Yeah, well, now it's 2023. Finally made it back to Europe, and yeah, man, it was so I left feeling so good. I don't know. I got a lot of exercise there. The food was absurdly good, and it was just an all-around great week. And I came back, and back to the teaching job, and midway through the week, and kids will tire you, no doubt. All of that has like worn off. I do love teaching, but it sure tires you. Jet lag was not a problem at all. I felt like $1 million on Monday. Now that it's Thursday, I'm like, bring on that weekend.
Right. I bet. A long flight to get over to France.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 6.5 hours to get there, and maybe 8 hours and change to get back. Because the jet stream, it pushes you on the way there, and you're flying into it on the way back, so you can't go as fast.
That doesn't sound so bad. I mean, but because Ken and I went over to London, we were at, 10.5 hours, I think?
Yeah.
Going over.
Going over, coming back, it was like 16 because
it was horrible.
Terrible tickets. That's why.
Yeah, that doesn't sound so bad. 6.5 and 8. Shoo.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony, I forgot. Congratulations on that gold coin, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
That's right. Congrats.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that, guys.
It's much larger than mine.
That's right. And I was about to say, I remember Ken has one too.
Sucker. He always has to outdo me. Always has to outdo me.
You got it first.
Life goals, Lou?
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was saying that's life goals for us, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That, a cannonball, maybe a Roman helmet, like a gladiator helmet.
Just that.
Yeah. The same, right? Yeah. It's crazy. Like, never even a thought ever that would ever happen. Not for us, not here in Colorado. We just didn't think it could be here, really. We knew, we were on soldier, military sites and early military sites before the Civil War and stuff. But still, we were just like, anybody drops a gold coin, they're going to find it. Like, they're not going to lose that kind of stuff. And, we're hoping to find some cross sabers and some company letters and, an eagle button. That's what we were looking for. And, crazy that.
Well, and just in terms of frequency, during the time when they had, when they paid the soldiers in gold, there wasn't as much activity out towards the west, and so it could happen, but the the opportunity is so minute, versus you go back to the east where more population, more activity, and as you move further west, it becomes newer and newer. So is it possible? Absolutely. Is it probable? Absolutely not.
I read that when people moved west, the real estate was paid for buy gold coins. And, on the trails, the Homestead Act and the various, land acts, that was the payment. So, it was a long time ago that I read that, but I was thinking, all along the trail going from east to west, or the various roads, I was thinking that would be a logical place.
Yeah,
but somebody probably thought of that first.
Yeah, they've definitely been hunting. I think a lot of people have that idea.
Yeah.
I know that's where we hunt. We hunt trails.
Yeah, love the trails and really more of the history of the military being out this direction. In the Indian Wars, especially Colorado was that was the Wild West,
Right.
And it's always fun because you do the research, right? You do research. You're trying to find a military site here in Colorado. Rare. But you do the research. You pour into research. You really do a lot of research, and then you go out with your best guess. Then you got to get permission. Then you got to go out. But when you find it, oh my God, it's like everything comes to fruition. Like you're like, oh man, all that hard work ended up in us finding a military site. Like we put our minds to it, right? So we're like, okay, here's this trail, right? There was like a ranch here, and then how far could horses go in a day? You know what I mean? Like, they could probably do 20 miles if they're doing this type of march or this type of cadence or whatever. All right, so right about here, is there another ranch in that area? Another spring? Is there a spring nearby? Like trying to figure all that stuff out, and then trying to like figure it all out, and then you get in that area, and you're like, all right, now we gotta go get permission there, and then all that accumulates down into your coil size, and then it hits a little tiny coin, and you're just like, wow, or an eagle button or whatever. It's definitely exciting. Have you ever been out of the country, Lou? Have you ever been detecting over in Europe or in England or anything like that?
The only place outside so far is Aruba. And it's beautiful there. The beach is unbelievable.
Did you find anything?
Yes, I found jewelry charms. I found a men's engagement ring and a bunch of coins, some foreign coins. It was really nice.
Cool.
Nice.
Very cool. I've known some people that have gone there and got skunked, on some of those beaches, because you would think that would be the great place because they just get inundated and refreshed all the time. But I'm glad you found something, man.
Thanks. Yeah, it really depends what beach. It's like there's rough ones, and then there's ones that are more calm with a lot of the resort people. And the ones that were rough, I saw actual metal detectors that look like they're from there. They were in the water deep with the Excalibur too.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Maybe there's stuff out there.
Must be.
What are you swinging right now, Lou?
To be honest, I use mainly the Equinox 600 and the Nocta Legend. I use those because I'm so used to using them. But you always gravitate to what you're dialed into. But I'm really challenging myself and just saying, okay, we're gonna just do one at a time. Those are the two main ones I've been using when I go in the field.
It's hard to do, right, Tony? Sometimes you're like, I don't know if you're like me, but I was really into the Technics T2 forever, and then that was my baby, and then I got like a Simplex, and then I didn't really put a lot of time into that, but I found my gold coin with that one, and then I got the Legend, so I've been putting a lot of time in the Legend, and I picked up, just to even move it from one side of my room to the other, I picked up my T2 the other day, and I swear I heard it crying. But I was like, I'm sorry. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, I don't even know if I could turn this thing on now at all. Like, if I can remember where the button is.
The redheaded stepchild.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he feels so neglected. And I'm like, could I even set it up? Like, can I even remember how to set it up? Because, my mind's gone to different areas now with the new detectors.
Right. If you don't use it, you lose it. It's like the language.
Yeah.
And you get comfortable. That's just the human nature. You get comfortable. Everybody likes that, really nice, comfortable position and using, the tones, the numbers, and you get real comfortable. And then jump in between not only machines, but manufacturers in terms of, how something else is completely set up entirely differently. That's rough. I mean, I resisted that moving away from Garrett, and right to the Manicore, and that learning curve was big because I was out of my comfort zone again. You have to learn that whole thing. So mad respects to anybody that can jump between not just machines by one manufacturer, but to something entirely different.
Yeah.
We like the least pet resistance, like electricity.
Absolutely.
It's very similar.
Yeah. I want to say hi to XX Marks the Spot. I didn't get a chance to say hi to him. Welcome to the show.
Ring Finder Denny.
Ring Finder Denny. How you doing, Denny? Denny swings a dais. We were talking about, we don't ever let him say the word here on the show. We have him call it the D word, but we'll give you a pass tonight, Denny. You go ahead and just blurt it out anytime you want. Here's the thing with the dais, like Deus 1 or Deus 2, like people who use that machine love that machine.
Yeah.
They absolutely love that machine. We have a treasure hunting club here in Denver. We both, Tony and I both belong to. It's got about 150 members in it. And it, man, a lot of people there use the Deus, and a lot old timers too. People that have been doing it for many, many, many years. And, they love that machine. Like, you can't say anything about it, like they'll always ask you, like, what were you swinging? Like that, we have the Find of the Month club. I don't know if you do that, Lou, at your club, but Find of the Month, everyone brings in their stuff, and then if you win, you go up and you receive your little dime or whatever the award is, and you take your picture, and then you grab the microphone, you tell people where you were at, what you were swinging, anything else you want to say about it. And in the audience, everyone's like, what were you swinging? And it was like, you should have swung a Deus. Like, everyone's just pushing it constantly. So people that use them really love them. They
big commitment.
Yeah. Big commitment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Denny, speaking of Denny, says before I got in the freezing range here in Ohio, I found a 3-cent Trime 1852, and the next week Indian Head Civil War token 1863 with his Deus 2. Woo! Those are a couple of great finds. That is great, man.
And that's why all 4 of us are heading to Ohio after the show.
That's right.
Let's go.
Keep saying it, Denny. You keep saying it, man. You're just bringing us to Ohio. That's kept secret in detecting right there.
Wow. I attest to that. Earlier, Mary, you were talking about out west, people purchasing land with gold. And out east, especially in Ohio, when it was established and stuff, it was right at the kind of beginning of when we started minting our own coins. So I went out there to find, an early, large cent type of thing, and ended up finding Spanish silver, 1700 Spanish silver. And at that time, when they were just, in that area, that's what they were using for their currency was Spanish silver. So,
that's right.
That's also a benefit.
Remember that video? Were you on a farm on that video? Like some power lines?
Yeah, like he was in the stubble. Weren't you in the stubble?
He was in the stubble. It was there was a farm on one end. We were actually on the end where the school was. And then behind in the field was the blacksmith shop. So, we're trying to figure, I found 1852 large cent, and then 10 minutes later, 1772 Spanish real.
Wow.
In the same field, like, I don't know how many feet apart.
That was amazing.
It was crazy.
I remember your reaction to that on film was just,
I had no
anybody that watches that was just feels for you. They can put themselves right there. It's exactly how I feel right there,
Yeah, because they told me, oh my gosh, don't you never find a large cent? Come on out to Ohio. It's like Wheaties, in Ohio. That's the Ohio's Wheatie is our large cents. And I'm okay. I'll find a large cent. This will be great. And I was ecstatic. My oldest coin I ever found. And then it gets trumped by a Spanish real, 1700.
Yeah, right.
That's a good day.
It was a great day.
Good day.
It was so cold. Ooh, it was brutally cold.
And real quick, I want to say congratulations to David Rose, because he dug his first Flying Eagle scent a couple weekends ago. It's beautiful for sure. Tim just posted that and reminded me of it in the chat. Yeah, congratulations, David Rose. Matter of fact, if you guys are listening in, make sure you join us next week, Thursday, December 7th, for David Rose coming on the show, Tim Ildigger coming on the show, and who else we got? We got Jeff coming in. But yeah, it should be a great show. Make sure you tune in then. We're going to talk all about tripping out of country, and some of their finds they've been up to lately. We got a big show coming, so we'll be advertising it. You'll be seeing it on the Facebook groups. Make sure you join us next week for sure. So hey, Merrill, when you went to France, like, was XP like very welcoming? You talked about Gary being very welcoming. Like, what did they take you by the factory? Did they do all that? Like, tell us about the trip.
They took me by the factory. They've got a lot of test sites there. The rules of digging in France are very restrictive. There's archaeologists that are very powerful, and it's very frowned upon to dig. Ironically, the founder of XP is an artist. I was so impressed with him because above all, he wants to raise the bar. And, that was proven to me. I can't just work for a company that's just, like, it's beyond the profit. Like, I know some people might sound skeptical, might think of that as skeptical. I truly believe it. And, the entire team is kind of built around that. And if you think about it, they do it very differently than all of the other brands. You said it yourself. The brains are in the coils, and there's parts that you could add like one at a time. Like you could get the puck, WS6, or you could get a remote, and you could add the parts one at a time. And there's different coils that you could get, high frequency coils and such, and different shapes. But they just really, really do it differently, and they want it to be fast. They care very much about speed. They care very much about the experience and being able to tune into anything. But there's so many different controls that you have, on a dais or on a remote, to tune these detectors. I was just really impressed with the team. I felt really good about the decision while I was there. It was such an incredible week. In my latest video, I tried to like capture that, and it was incredible. And I think I'm going to be going at least once a year, and I'm already looking forward to the next time.
Yeah. Was the language a barrier?
Everybody speaks English. Like I was trying to speak a little bit of French, and they're like, "Oh, you're an American. Let me speak English to you."
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I was thankful about that. But they're very welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
Very welcoming.
Do you speak any other languages, Lou? Are you multilingual?
I speak a little Italian. That's about it.
Yeah.
Went to school for it, and older people in my family spoke it, but not fluently. Still need help.
How about you, Tony? I've never asked you that question. Are you bilingual at all?
Nope, not at all. I'm too stubborn, too lazy.
Me neither.
Lazy American.
I'm a dumb American, right?
Right.
I remember when the first time I went to England. I don't know if I ever told the story. The first time I went to England, I get off the plane. I'm wide-eyed because I'm in England. I'm in a new country, all that. And I walked to customs, and this lady standing at this podium, and I approached her, and she said, she takes my paper and passport and all that stuff. Oh. And she says, so you guys tell me what, you guys may pick up on it right away, but I sure didn't. She says, okay, sir, are you in transit? That's what she said to me. Are you in transit? And I'm thinking,
English, she says,
yeah.
Are you in transit?
Are you transit? And I'm thinking. And I'm like, I don't understand what you're asking me. And she folds her arms and she just said it again. Are you in transit? And looks at her friend next door and rolls her eyes. And I'm like, and I really want to answer because I'm coming in the country. I really don't want to get turned away. I want to answer this question. And I was like, I was in transit. And now I'm here.
I'm currently standing here. I'm not even moving.
And I'm like, look, I'm a dumb American. I don't know what you're saying. And I am not kidding you. 5 times in a row, she just repeated herself and looked at me with her arms folded like I was the biggest idiot. And she goes, where are you going here in England? Or what are you doing on this trip or whatever? And I was like, okay, I'm going to Wales. I'm going to Oxford here in England. I'm going there. I'm going this and that. She goes, all right, then you're not in transit. In other words, you're not coming through England and going to, Czechoslovakia or something. You're not moving on. And I'm like, Oh, thank you.
Now I know.
Yeah, I guess I'm not in transit. But I mean, not being an international flyer, you know what I mean? This is my first international flight. I was like, I'm in transit.
I'm in the airport, lady.
Yeah, I was in transit. I'm no longer in transit. I'm just standing
Am
here.
I on a bus?
If you let me go, I'm going to go in
moving?
transit over to that bus and make my way to Oxford. Come on.
Yeah. The Amsterdam airport was a multiple choice equation, and I just happened to choose the right choices. But man, there were moments I'm like, what the heck do I do here? There were just like all of these lines everywhere. And I mean, everybody did speak English, and that helped. But I had to catch the flight to Toulouse, and man, it's really confusing when you travel. It's worth it, but it's confusing.
Yep.
Yeah, especially if you haven't done it a lot,
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm not bilingual at all. And when I go to foreign countries and stuff, like there's a lot of people that live in foreign countries that are multilingual. They'll speak a few different languages. It just makes me feel dumb every time I'm around somebody like that. It's crazy. So Ohio Relic Hunter in the chat said he speaks Redneckistan. Redneckistani.
Yes. Redneckistani, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
That is good.
It's good, yeah. That's funny.
Another just a quick funny story. When Ken and I were in England, we were getting breakfast. The English breakfast, right? The what do they call that? The
beans,
full English breakfast.
Right. So we sit down and they're like, well, "What do you guys want?" We're like, "We want the full English breakfast, but without beans." They're like, "Oh, get the American version of it."
Yeah.
Americans over here.
Heathrow Airport, it was good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's good. I mean, it's got a lot of good stuff. It's got tomatoes on it and sausage. It's got all the good stuff on there. But I was like, beans. The beans just didn't seem to fit for me either. So here's a question from Merrill. He wants to know, Bill, Ohio Relic Hunter wants to know, how many croissants were consumed, and does he now drink his beverages with his pinky finger in the air?
The pinky, absolutely. But I always did that. I'm
see that.
Like that.
Yeah.
In terms of croissants, oh my God, the baked goods over there are absurd. It was really, really good. And it's not like American croissants. American croissants are freaking boomerangs. Let's put it that way. You throw it, they come back to you. But the French croissants, wow. Like,
they're flaky.
Different.
Are they flaky?
Just
flaky. People just kept handing me food, and I'm like, yes, really good.
Yeah.
Oui.
My wife really wants to go over there, and I don't have any interest to go to France. Maybe south of France, like Bordeaux area and stuff like that, like a wine area. You were in Bordeaux?
Yeah, we went to it's called Dune de Palat, and it's like the largest sand dune in the world, and that you could metal detect on French beaches. So we went for a beach day, and it was in a lower volume place because they just had a forest fire, and they're still cleaning up from that. So we went to a low volume place, but we still got some detecting in there, and everything else was really a lot of testing and learning, and it was fun, and it was I learned an awful lot. Gary flew in. I mean, I think the two people outside of the engineers who know the most is the founder, Alain, and Gary, and they were both there and like teaching me. It's just it was overwhelming, the amount of what I learned, and I'm still learning. And the emails are continuing, and they're just encouraging it, which is great.
I heard those beaches over in France are clothing optional.
I know it was cold, so everybody was wearing clothing. So.
Got it. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, people in the chat are having a good time, aren't they, Tony?
They're having a great. David Rose says, "Hey, Merrill, did any French surrender to you?"
Oh, jeez.
While you were over there.
Oh, jeez.
Bunch of rascals.
Crazy. What was the best thing you ate, Merrill?
French
I
fry.
don't know what to name it.
French
So
fries.
oh my, okay. So French fries. Let me get started with that. The McDonald's over there, it's not the McDonald's over here. Like they're okay. You clean everything over there, so it's a plastic container that just keeps getting cleaned, or maybe it's not even plastic. Like basically, New York, we're complaining about it like crazy. They just took plastic bags away from us, and the whole paper straw thing. I can't stand either one of those choices, by the way. But they're very eco-friendly over there. So there's like these three lines or three places that you throw stuff out. It's the stuff that you throw out. Like this is garbage. This is going to a landfill. Then you have cardboard. Then you have plastic, and it's like advanced recycling. It's like super high level recycling that they do over there. But all of the food containers, like they reuse. Somebody washes it and it gets served to another person. And the fries, they have the French version of the French fries, and it's thicker. And
like steak fries.
I got a picture of it. It's like steak fries, but like at McDonald's.
Wow.
And they have this cream sauce. And I originally asked for chicken McNuggets. I don't think they had that over there. And I was asking for sweet and sour sauce, and they're like, sweet and sour, sweet and sour, good have sweet and sour. So
I think they're called frites.
They have their own version.
Frites, right?
Frites.
They call them American fries.
No, French fries in France, frites.
Very different, very different.
Yeah.
Like they're like steak fries, right? They're like, almost like steak fries,
right?
Or diner fries. You know how they're like a little bit thicker. And the shape is just off. It was delicious. It tasted a lot better than American McDonald's, maybe because I was over there and it's different. The Big Mac is smaller and it seems like better made. Like it's made more well. Like you get like this blob of something on it nowadays. You don't know if it's like salad dressing or ketchup or mayonnaise or whatever they're thinking. And the lettuce is like falling apart in America. It's like pristine over there. Yeah. It's like pristine.
When
like
Tony and I went to England, we were at a restaurant, we were looking at the appetizers, and they had fried brie, and so Tony orders the fried brie, and that was looking good to me, but I didn't want to order the same thing he ordered. So they had something called, what was it called? It was called bait fish. No, was it called bait fish?
Whitefish?
Whitefish.
I don't remember.
Whitefish, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, maybe there's some kind of fish on a platter and some sauce, and you put it on a cracker or something, So they bring it out, and it's this like fully fried, like little minnows. You know what I mean?
Anchovy.
Like anchovy or a minnow or something, just fully fried up with his head on and all this stuff, and you just crunch it and eat it,
Oh,
it was really fishy, and it was like, So over there, did you experience anything where you were like, no, I pass. I don't know if I want to try that or not. Any strange things they put in front of you or no?
So my family makes fun of me. Like, I won't get adventurous with cheese in America. Oh, heck no. That could go horribly wrong. But you know what? I was going over there, and my wife like talked to me, like, go over there with an open mind. Just try it. Oh my God, I'm glad that I did. Like, they're like cheese geniuses over there. They're just like have a 200 IQ with cheese, and all of the stuff. Like, I will never forget this. We had a chef, the XP, whatchamacallit, director of marketing. His son is a chef, and before he cooked for us, he did a sketch of the meal. It's almost like a lesson plan for the meal, and there was like this 5-course meal that he made, and everybody had, they brought beer that was like brewed by, like that's one of his hobbies. He brews beer.
Oh, cool.
And it was so good. It was so good. Everything was like artful over there.
Sweet.
But they drew it before they cooked it. Who does that? Like, that's amazing.
They drew it before they cooked it.
They drew it before they cooked it.
Here's what you shall consume tonight. That sounded German. I don't know where that came from.
Oh, and you said, did I consume anything that was like,
crazy?
Questionable, crazy.
Yeah.
I tried a truffle for the first time, that was the only thing I think I ate over there that I was like, oh my God, no, never again.
Huh. We could actually go treasure hunting for those. They're worth money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't pigs dig them up or something like that?
That's right.
Yeah. I remember the first time I tried schnitzel.
It's a pounded thin chicken cutlet.
Yeah, right. But I thought it was a pastry. So I was like, yeah, I'll have their schnitzel. And they bring me this meat with breaded meat. And I was like, oh, what is that? But I didn't know, man. I'd never had it before. You know what I mean?
We actually we have a sandwich place here called Holy Schnitzel.
Holy Schnitzel.
Holy Schnitzel. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's a great name.
Great word.
Last time when we were over in England and Ken and I were at this pub it's probably like 600 years old, right? It's like the original structure still, that kind of thing. And we'd asked you, Merrill, if you had what McDonald's was like, and whatever your dipping sauces are, you're asking for sweet and sour. I actually asked the waitress for ranch dressing, and they just about threw me out.
Oh boy!
I said, "What do you have close to it?" They're like, "We have a white sauce." I'm like, "Okay, I'll take that," thinking it was similar to ranch. Not even close. Like those stupid Americans. Gosh.
Yeah, that's like the equivalent to coming to one of the Italian hero places out here and asking for ketchup on your sandwich.
Right.
Probably.
Exactly. Just about ready to wring my neck and toss me out the back door. Yes.
Ranch is good on anything, though.
Merrill, when you were over there, did you get a chance to check out that WS6?
Yeah, I'm
WS6
starting my learning curve with that because really, if there's anything that I neglected, and I'll admit out of fear, because let's face it, it's an intelligence. Comfort with technology is an intelligence. I always tell people, like if you put Albert Einstein on a basketball court, dude's no longer a genius. Dude is getting dunked on. And, comfort with technology is an aptitude. And, I'm just, that's something I have to work on. It's not as overwhelming as I thought, but, I was definitely more comfortable in having the remote, and I bought the remote with that in mind, but they made it absolutely clear. There's no difference other than, the inability to submerge it between the WS6 and, the regular Deus 2 with the remote, because the brains are in the coil. And, what is the WS6? It's another version of the remote. And perhaps it was, more cost effective to manufacture so you could sell it at a cheaper price. But it's the same. You just have to have that comfort with technology to navigate it. But that's what I'm going to be teaching people. So I have to really master it first. And, I'm going to be making a bunch of videos on that, probably on the XP channel. I'm not going to totally change my channel. I'm going to continue to do the stuff that I do. But, I'm going to be doing a number of videos for the XP channel. And I'm pondering getting another website too, just for this. Because when I teach, I kind of keep everything on a website. In school, it's just natural to me. I want to find a way to make this easy. And I think that's why, I'm sure they could have had Green Mountain. He's got 10 times the audience of me. And he clearly loves the Deus. He's a great candidate, very smart guy. I could teach, they made it clear. They like my teaching. They like the way that I explain things. And I'm like, all right, let's rock with that. So, I'm going to do my best to fill that, to continue to fill the need that Gary has, done so well with over the years, and, represent them well, teach the stuff. And it's going to be fun. I've never really gone to metal detecting festivals. I'm going to start to go, especially to the ones in America, and, grow into all of these new and awesome responsibilities.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to see what you do with it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for you. I know that I didn't know what kind of announcement you're going to make, and but you said it was big, and I was like, well, Merrill doesn't pull punches. If it's big, it's going to be big. So I would definitely want to have you on. And then when I heard what it was, I was like, hey, all right, man.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Like, come on Relics Radio and chat about it a little bit. And but we're rooting for you, man. We've always enjoyed, your camaraderie as fellow detector and detectorist, and we're rooting for you, man. If there's any way we can help you with stuff, make sure you let us know for sure. And a little excited for you too, man. Like, taking on this Irate Metal Detectors is a big step. Like, what do you think your next video is going to be? Do you know yet? Have you started planning out video titles and videos that you're going to make here in the future?
Yes, well, I have tons of content that I've taken over the last year that I'm going to utilize, but I'm going to have a video in a week doing an introduction of what exactly this channel is going to be all about and what we're looking to do in the future. Plus with other things that there's also going to be other treasure hunting elements to the channel as well. That'll be fun. Like, for instance, going to Manhattan and prospecting the dirt in front of the jewelry district. I think that's going to be fun. A fun one we're going to do.
Yeah, right up there with Clash. You ever seen Clash do that?
I did, but it's something I've been meaning to do for forever.
Yeah,
and it's like at night. It probably takes about 25 minutes to get there.
Oh yeah.
So we got to do it.
Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing that. That always interests me. I think it's so cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Klesh is one of our buddies out here in Colorado.
Right.
Yeah, I've been following him since the beginning too, when he was doing the coin roll hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Good channel.
Yeah, he's a
good guy. Great guy.
Yeah, good guy. For sure.
Yeah, those are just a great fun topic. I mean, surprised about what you find outside in front of them. I mean, just completely surprised about what you can find and pull out.
Yeah. Hey, do either one of you two guys make it to any events this year? I know kind of running out of the season right now, but
I've never been, but that's about to start. So yeah, I'm keeping my eye out for events, like Rush the Rockies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Listen to that. Oh, no, what a plug.
I know, right into it.
Summertime, 2024, Rush to the Rockies. Don't know where we're having it yet, but it's going to happen.
In Colorado.
It's somewhere in Colorado. Somewhere in the Rocky Mountains. Definitely be
somewhere rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
we'd love to have you out here, Merrill. Are you kidding, man? We'd love to have you out here. So let's stay in touch on that for sure.
I would love that. I really, really hope it happens.
Bring Lou with you. Love to meet Lou in person sometime.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Any other questions in the chat, Tony?
Yeah, there was Denny was going crazy about the D word tonight. I asked him to settle down because he's just out of control.
Hey, yeah, Merrill, he goes, this guy speaks my language. Like, Denny's all over the dais, man. Yeah, again, it's just like my guys in the club, man. When they use it, they love it.
Denny, I hope to make you proud, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll do fine, Merrill, man. I think you really will. You're a real personable person. You have a good head on your shoulders. You don't take things too seriously. You're very flexible, and I think you'll do well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything from Denny? Was there a specific question that came in from Denny?
No, I don't think so. He's just being obnoxious.
Yeah. Right. We posted some of the links out to both Lou's channel on YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, and then we also posted stuff out for Merrill's channel on Metal Detecting NYC and also his Facebook group. And we also put out links to XP Metal Detectors. Definitely head on over there, check stuff out, check out their channels. Merrill's always got a ton of stuff on. Lou, you've been putting out videos for a while now. I know that I've been following you. You guys a lot of times will detect with other detectorists that also have channels and stuff. So there's a lot of collaboration going on. How's your buddy doing? How's your mudlarking buddy doing, Merrill?
Adele?
Yeah.
She's great. We've been planning our England trip forever, and Lou's a part of that as well. But with the foreshore permits, we haven't been able to do that yet. We fundraised for her to go because she's semi-retired. She's doing great. I think my next video actually is going to be mudlarking. Because Dead Horse Bay is just so much fun. to do, and you just have to be prepared to get yelled at. But when you know that the person yells at you because she only yells at people that she likes. She'll never say that in video, but that's the truth. She's a great friend, and she's really helped. Everybody loves Adele, so yeah, she's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Tony.
We just had Dave Cruikshank join us in the chat. Dave checks in every once in a while. Good to have you, Dave. Thanks for coming on. He asks, have you guys ever found anything historic around Coney Island? Done any detecting around there, and how's that been?
Remember your friend James and what he found, Lou?
I'm sorry, what was that? My son just walked in for a second.
No worries. They were asking if we found anything historic at Coney Island. The sands are kind of mysterious there. I was talking about, remember when James found the seated there?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's old sands. You just got to be there at the right time, and
I love that place.
That move it around too, and you really could hit bonanza there, or you could strike out, but you'll always get a lot of clad there, even in these times where people are dropping, less modern coins. You'll still get a lot of coins there,
for sure.
Nice.
So okay, guys, favorite finds. Notable finds for each of you. Something that really meant a lot to you, that you kind of went, wow, I don't believe it. Each one, you guys, I don't care who goes first. You guys can take that.
Okay. I did a 1600s house, and I found a Henry Clay presidential button, the great debater. We donated it back to the house, and that was really important because shank was intact. After we cleaned it up, put it in a nice Ricker box with a bunch of all the finds. And now everyone's going to be able to enjoy that because it's a museum when they visit it.
Beautiful.
Man, amazing.
We didn't put that video out yet because we don't want anybody to know what house it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you know what it was immediately when you found it? Was it very obvious?
No, I was like, oh, look, I got a button. And then when I put my first finger on it, I was like, there's a bust on here. What the hell is this thing? It was like the second target. The place is loaded. I can't believe because no one metal detected it before.
Crazy.
It's just loaded. But we hit it. We're just gonna keep hitting it, and when it's finally done, then we'll put a video out.
Good.
We
can't wait to see that.
Right.
Wow.
Now, what about you, Merrill? What do you think?
Two things come to mind. The first thing when you asked that question, the first thing that popped into my mind was my grills, and I can't say historic value. But you got golden grills. It's got like something, hip hop written across on the teeth, and it fits my mouth perfectly. And,
was it yours? Did you drop it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've a few of my rap videos feature the grills. But in terms of historic value, even though it's 20th century this year, I'd say my find of the year was a Robert Oppenheimer. It was a medallion given to people who worked on the Manhattan Project.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's the size of a dime. I thought I found a dime, and it was at Dead Horse Bay. And it was a token given. It was a pin that was given to people who worked on the Manhattan Project. And there was 2 levels of those pins. One was silver, one was bronze. If you were one of the top people, one of the leadership, you got silver. Mine was silver. So it's, definitely somebody who worked with Oppenheimer. And it was like right at the same time that the movie was coming out. And I was like, holy cow. That's really
that would have
cool.
been shocking, man.
Wow.
I love pieces of history like that are representative. I was watching recently, somebody found like some medallion from some, reunion of the General Assembly and stuff like that. And it's like, man, stuff like that is so cool. Tony, you found Harding. You found that Harding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little small lead elephant.
Yeah.
That was stamped Harding on, and it was like a lapel pin. With a, it wasn't a pin with a long stick. I can't think of the word, but but it had like a nub on the back, and it would go in, on your suit. You have that little notch where you can put flowers and stuff. That's where they would actually stick through. And they, in terms of looking when the presidential race was for Harding versus when the school was built, like it was right at that same time. And I've only seen one on the internet since. It was pretty cool.
I still think it's a shame what she did to Nancy Kerrigan, but that sure does sound like a great find.
Right. Was it missing a leg? It was missing a leg.
It was, yeah, ironically.
Yeah, but you got to think, it makes you think, right? Like, was Harding touring? Was he coming through that? Because schoolhouses were everything back then.
Yeah.
Back in the rural schoolhouses are where the weddings happen. It's where the parties happen. It's where the gatherings happen. And did they pass those out? Vote for Harding, and it's just it makes you wonder, man.
Sure.
So, did you see the movie, Merrill?
I did not see the movie yet. I got to see the movie.
Everyone dies.
Yeah.
I'm teasing. I don't know. I saw it. It was a great movie. Yeah, I really had a good time watching that movie.
Destroyer of Worlds.
Thought they did a good job with it. Well, excellent, man. Hey, you guys have been great guests. Thank you so much for coming on, spending your evening with us, giving up time with your family, come talk to us, two bozos, for the evening, and the millions of listeners Relics Radios have across the United States.
I enjoy the company of bozos. I always feel like I fit right in. So thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys coming on. Lou, thanks for taking the time coming on with us. Would you guys give you guys last word before Tony and I sign off? And Lou, we'll go with you first. Anything you want to say, just sort of in parting to, we have 1 million listeners, at Relics Radio. There's 1 million people listening right now. What would you like to say to them, Lou?
Keep swinging. Yes.
Keep swinging.
Don't stop. Keep swinging.
There you go.
That's it. I like it. Another shirt. You got to put that on a shirt. Keep swinging.
I have it.
Yeah. Perfect. You ever get questioned on it? People are like, what do you mean keep swinging?
Oh, yes. People are like, you're a swinger? I'm like, yeah, you got that right.
You got that
Heavy
right.
duty.
Right in the dirt.
That's right.
Merrill, what do you say, buddy?
Listen, I'm a proud American. I've got flags everywhere. Very proud. I have to say, we have to up our cheese game. Thinking back to our conversation about the food, I will not get adventurous with American cheese. And when I say American cheese, I don't mean like the, cheese bricks that we have and we put on burgers. I just mean American cheese in general. We don't do cheese the right way. I kind of learned, the right way when I was over visiting France. Like, it's artfully done. Again, this is coming from a proud American, and I just mean that to be progressive. So I hope we up our cheese game. Thank you very much.
That's probably one of the best parting words I've ever heard from any guest we've ever had on Relics Radio. Up our cheese game. So funny. Tony, man, go for it, buddy.
Yeah, hey, just want to thank Lou and Merrill for coming on tonight. Always great talking with you guys. It's a great time having all those bozos together. And if you guys want to keep up to date with all the stuff I've got going on, put in 5280 Adventures in your Google search. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere like that. Come over and follow me. Leave me some comments. I love interacting with you guys over on social media. So thanks for all the support. And DK, good show tonight, man.
Yeah, it was. I knew it would be, man. I knew these two guys would bring it, and they're definitely good guests. And interesting topic. I mean, I'm so happy for Merrill and excited for Lou to kind of take over Irate Metal Detectors, and it's some fun times. So, guys, hold on. We like chat with you off the air if you have a couple of minutes to give us. But sure. Everyone, thanks for listening to Relics Radio. We sure appreciate your support. We see the numbers, and we check that stuff and we see numbers. But when you guys reach out and you come into the chat, you come into the comment section, you send us messages, you tune into Relics Radio on the Facebook group, you post comments, you send us ideas. That really makes that human connection, that personal connection. We really appreciate that. But even if you don't do that, boy, I know you guys are listening, and we really appreciate it. Tune in next Thursday. We're gonna have some great guests on: David Rose, Tim Ildigger, Jeff. We're gonna have some great people join us. It's gonna be another fun show. But until then, if you go out, find some stuff, make it cool, tell me about it, and good luck to you. No music tonight, Tony, unless you can go bam, 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 bam.
No, that's you.
No?
You nailed it.
Can't do it.
Yep.
I can't do it either.
See you next
All right.
week, guys.
See you next week. Yeah, see you next week. Everyone, take care. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Bye.